Hello everyone and welcome to this week's weekly review. We did well this week, coming in the top 1%, scoring 2,150 for the round with a round rank of 1,319, which has put us up 35 ranks, and we're at the second best rank I've been ranked all year of 41st. So very solid, being able to hold a consistent rank, haven't been outside the top 100 since round 1, which is nice. But yeah, I'm just reloading just to see. Haven't done my trades yet. I reversed them just before the video. And yeah, we'll go through some of the team. Tom Stewart is a very good pick that has put me ahead of the pack. I think he's number 1 defender average-wise at the moment. And he's going to be difficult to bring in if you don't have him. Unless he drops a poor score, I think he's a very good selection I've made this year. And sometimes what seems like a vanilla or boring pick is probably the safest, and turn out he might be number 1 defender. I still think Ridley or Lloyd will probably get to that 110 mark and overtake Stewart, but you never know. Lloyd obviously hasn't been what we expected, but obviously you can't be mad with a 107 average. Like if we go back to 2019, obviously he's not putting out these sorts of numbers, but he ended the year with a 109, which I think Lloyd can do. He has the capability to just go 120 for the next 5 weeks, but it's unlikely with Dawson being affecting that kickouts, but obviously Lloyd's a great selection. Ridley, he's just a godsend for non-owners. I guess you'll be waiting for that 31 to go out of his cycle, and maybe if he scores poor again this week, it's like a sub 100, you'll be waiting for that 87 to go out. It's just unfortunate what happened, but you know, it was nice when he was, obviously he's one of the main reasons I'm so high in the ranks, so I can't blame him. You know, he's still going to be consistent. I've lost no faith in Ridley. Bose is one I'm starting to regain confidence in. Dog's Destruction and these 2 games, not that bad. I think he's averaging like 100, nearly high 90s in my side, so nothing to complain about there. He's regained my faith, and yeah, Chapman's out this week. He's lost 18k, I think it was, so he'll have to go. And yeah, if I go, I'll leave it on reverse so I can talk about my team. If that wants to load. Maybe not. Okay, anyway, I'll just keep rambling on while I'll see if it loads. Oh, here we go. So anyway, obviously Chapman with a 28, he's going to go this week. He's got a break even of 85. He'll have to get out the side. Highmore, frustrating that he hasn't been playing, but you know, whatever. Short, I loopholed short because you never know, and I also wanted to just have that safe, like have Highmore and field, and unfortunate that I fielded Chapman over Cozzy. I was going to field Cozzy because I was worried Chapman might get dropped. Didn't end up happening. I kind of regained faith. Thought, you know, maybe. Cozzy kicked, I think it was 2 goals, maybe 3. But yeah, he looks good to make another 50k. So I wouldn't be moving him anywhere. But yeah, for the back line, obviously, we'll be bringing on you, and I'll trade Chappie to someone in a bit. Moving on to the midfield, Dogs Mids had a bit of a down week, and obviously, as you see, I went Bontempelli over Walsh. I don't know why I've kept skipping Walsh. It's like I have some bias against him, like I didn't go with him, so I gotta stick to it. That 20k could have been helpful later on. But anyway, Bontempelli It's only 23 points compared to him and Walsh right now. So it's not that bad. It's not like a Brayshaw situation. But obviously, you want to get the player who's scoring better. But anyway, Bontempelli, I still have heaps of faith in him. McRae, obviously a down week, but what can you do? I'm going to keep reversing because I just don't like seeing it change. What can you do? Dogs didn't really have the best second half, and Tiggs come back to beat them. But you don't complain about a 107. Like, obviously, you want more from someone like a McRae type, but it could always be a sub-ton, so you're not going to be too mad about that. Clary 116 consistent. Merritt 107 consistent. Laird 75. That's his worst score of the season, so can't get too upset about that. Obviously, he's more of backman, so obviously underscoring for a midfielder, but I'm confident Laird's top 5 defender, so nothing worries me about Laird's selection. And Brayshaw, he might have went 130. I don't know if he went off. I think he hurt his ankle. He's fine, but I wonder if he didn't hurt that if he was going to go 130. Powell and Jordan, I've really lucked out in holding both of these guys. I traded Berry over Jordan, which, I think, yeah. My main issue with Berry was his time on ground, where obviously in weeks where he scored, very poor. It was a 68 minutes on ground, which is lower time on ground, whatever. But I had faith that Jordan was much more consistent. He just needed the time on ground. And he's provided with 91. Very happy. And Powell and Jordan can be M7 and 8, probably to the buys, because I think they both have... Oh no, Roos have the first buy, and D's have the last one. So they should be fine. M7 and 8s, if one of them scores poorly, you can easily dish them off. They've made so much money. Powell's made 200, I think Jordan's made 170, 160. McNeil, obviously the sub, didn't come on. Brockman did not play. I think he might come back this week, but unsure. And McRae, hoping he just doesn't get dropped, or hoping Buckley gets sacked, because you don't put your guy who was dominating the VFL in the midfield deep forward. I think he was playing. It just... I've tipped North this week because I don't know about Collingwood, and North did well against Melbourne. Anyway, the Rucks, going off week, it's going to happen. Unfortunate, but at least we didn't have the C on him. If you had the C on him, I don't know what to say. Hopefully you had the VC on Grundy, though. He's probably the highest scoring player for this week that I think is a captaincy option, which is nice that we got that. But yeah, obviously Gaundy's the move. Hickey is looking like he's worked out, but obviously he went down with a PCL and he's come back a week later. So, can't really predict that, but obviously he's made 180k, so if you started Hickey R2, congratulations. Flynn obviously not playing. Hopefully he comes in eventually. He's got Essendon this week, which I hope he plays, but it's looking like Mumford. It's going to go 2-1, 2-1 or something like that. But yeah, hopefully Flynn can get a gig. Zeeble, a ton. Nice to see. MP 75, not terrible. Could be better, but obviously we picked MP as a cash cow and now he's a keeper. Warner, obviously losing money, and obviously people may think of getting rid of him if you see a break even of 63 and you're like, he's going to lose money, we might not get there. I'd definitely hold. He's a forward rookie. He's done his job of making that 180k. As long as he doesn't put up a real stinker, I'd hold. He just stays around that 300 to 350 mark and produces good rookie scores, and he's nice. Dev Robbo, great, beautiful selection with a 69. Nice. But yeah, Dev Robbo, great rookie. Bergman, obviously another good rookie that I held. His job security looks solid, and he can produce 50s, 60s, 70s, which for a rookie I'm fine with. And Jimmy Rowe hurts with a 36, but he'll be gone this week. So looking at the team, if we do it fully optimized, you look and the midfield's fine for now. It's set for now. Eventually I'll move Laird back into defence and pick up a midfielder, probably Sam Walsh, but for now the midfield's set. Not going to touch it. The forward line, I'm obviously bleeding at F6. It's really hurting at F6 getting a 36 from Rowe. So Rowe will be gone this week. Another person who I'm going to get rid of is Chapman, because we have a man who my friend in George's Discord, Atlas, likes to call the Flash, aka Frederick, who is looking like one of the best cash cows we'll have for a while. So I think we have to jump on him, and I think RCD for the Tigs is also one we may have to jump on next week. Now, I'll go to the forwards. There's a dilemma in the forward line, and I'll get to it soon. I'm trading Rowe out, but there's a dilemma in the forward line, and there's fair few forwards to pick from. Now, from price up and down, one you see starts off Marshall. For me personally, I was really looking at Marshall, but I think he's just a little overpriced currently. I think he can drop below that 500k mark just from a bad game. He kicked 2 goals against Hawthorn and he only scored an 86, which isn't the greatest. And with Ryder back, he's obviously getting less ruck time. So I think we can wait on Marshall. Butters is obviously one we will want, but he's still a couple weeks away with an ankle injury. Pardon me. A side bottom, no thank you. Just Adams comes back. Just Collingwood players, no thanks. I don't want to look at any Collingwood players that aren't Drew Grundy or a rookie. Zorko is an interesting one with Neil out. I don't mind it, but I just hate having Zorko. He's a up and down skier. One week he can go 160, the next week he can go 60. Now, I guess it's all about total points, but I still just don't. You don't like seeing that week where he scores a 50. It's going to annoy you. And if he drops a 50, he's going to drop cash. I'd be willing to pay like 430, 440 for a Zorko, but 490. I like an option just below him a tiny bit more, who is Shai Bolton. Now he's in a similar situation where Zorko, where his team's missing midfielders. Currently, I think Prestia was out, Martin's out, Cochin is going to be out, and then he has Martin and Prestia to come back in, I think, this week. Shai is going to, I think, be rotating through the middle once the Tigers are fully healthy. Do I think he's a good pick? Yes, I do. In fact, I really like the Bolton pick, especially because of his forward mid DPP, which could be very helpful during the buys. So Shai's up there on my list. Another one, if we scroll down a bit, is Bailey Dale. He scored poor against GWS. I think it was a 61 due to early clangers is what I'm hearing. I don't know why this isn't loading. My internet's actually connected. But anyway, Bailey Dale, I don't mind. I think he's gone 120. If I remember correctly, his last 3 have been a 129 against Gold Coast, 61 versus GWS, and obviously the 112 versus the Tigs this week. I don't mind it. It's just I'm not very confident. I don't want to stack up on that buy too much, even though Shai is in the same buy. But Shai has that DPP, so he helps me for midfield relief in a buy. So that's why I kind of like Shai more. And I think Shai has like the ceiling. Not saying that Bailey Dale doesn't. He went 130 the other week. or 129. But it's just, I don't know, I have a little bit more faith with rotating mid. But obviously, Bailey Dale, if you like the pick, I encourage it. His pod, I actually did not expect him to be in only 1% of teams. That's actually kind of fascinating to me. Wow. But yeah, that's a really good pick if you want a pod. If we go down a bit more, Nick Hind, George likes this pick. I know there's some blokes in the court that like Nick Hind. Seb. I think he's a okay pick. You know, he's going to be consistent. He's going to give you that 88 average. I think he stays at this price most of the year. He'll range from 410k to 460. I don't see him going too high above that or too low below that. I think he just stays there. So if you need someone later at 400k in the forward line, I think Hind is a safe bet to bet on being there later. And one more is Tom Atkins. I like this pick, 404k. George also has him in his side, and I do really like this pick. He's a bit up and down, but obviously it's the total points. He goes 100, he can go 70. It's not the end of the world. Now, I know, and Zach Bailey is one people who are looking at. Probably my least favorite out of all picks that are relevant, recommended, because I just don't. I think Neil kills him once he comes back. Sorry for that footage cut. But now, who am I going to get is the question. So, obviously, all the players I just listed. The one I kind of like the most is Shai. He has the role of rotating through the middle. He has DPP, which helps during the buys, and it's just nice to have. Because let's say round 13 he has the buy, which is a kind of weaker buy. But let's say round 14, I have Clary, Laird, Sprayshaw, Jordan, McRae, all bleeding, and I've only got one forward who's got the buy. What I do is move Shai in the middle for either of these guys, let's say Brockman, and then obviously I reduce some of the bleeding by taking one of these guys off, and obviously McNeil, he comes on, and then you've only got two there, and obviously we have Lloyd go to the bench, which is 2 there. And the round 14 buy is one of the buys that hurts the most. But in this, we look pretty set. We've got 1, 2, 3 missing. So therefore I have 19 players, and I only have to get rid of one bad score. Obviously these guys, probably not going to be these guys by the time the buys come around. But obviously, you don't know. So Shai is the one I'm looking at. There's another player I'm looking at who I'm pretty skeptical of at the moment, and I won't get into because it's a very skeptical pick, and I'm not gonna bother with them yet. But anyway, that's my team. That's how it's looking. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you went well, rose in the ranks, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.